A new discovery could help scientists predict when a volcano is about to blow its top. Just before Alaska's Mount Redoubt erupted in 2009, it emitted a series of low-pitched drum beats and rapid tremors, which then increased in frequency until the noise suddenly stopped just a minute or so before the volcano blew its top. Now, here's what it sounds like sped up. Scientists call it a volcanic scream. Hear that? Seismologist John Ebel is director of the Weston Observatory at Boston College. Dr. Ebel, this scream, it's only been detected at this Mount Redoubt volcano, right? Is that because they weren't looking for it elsewhere, or because it's the only volcano known to scream?
Well, actually, versions of this phenomenon where you see increases in earthquake activity and an amplification of the noise has been seen at other volcanoes. But it's really an extreme at Redoubt, which is very interesting from a scientific point of view.
So my question is, I mean, if you monitor all of the other known volcanic sites, are you going to be able to get screams every time? In other words, will it be a valid warning system?
So far, we haven't seen screams at other volcanoes, except hints of them here and there. On the other hand, there are lots of volcanoes that aren't monitored or monitored very well, and this might be a more common phenomenon than we think.
What causes it?
Well, what causes it is as magma is moving up into the top of the volcano before it explodes out, it's actually pulsing the volcano, and that gives us the vibrations, and that gives us the tremors that we detect and sometimes can be heard. As the magma pushes higher up, it causes the vibrations to be faster and causes this scream-type phenomenon, and then obviously it eventually blows out the top.
There's still an awful lot you don't know about what's going on down there. I mean, these things are terribly difficult to study. Volcanoes fairly rare. It's all happening way underground, and you've obviously got some high temperatures involved too.
We have all of that, and of course the big problem is knowing where to look. Where is a volcano going to erupt? And that just means you have to do steady volcanic monitoring year in and year out.
One article suggested that volcanoes and misbehaving young kids have something in common by throwing off this scream before they really blow their tops.
Well, there are many analogies that we can make between what people do and what volcanoes do. But as a scientist, I find the volcanoes fascinating.
Yeah, I think we all do. So the hope is that you'll be able to plant some of these monitoring devices around other known volcanic sites and perhaps save lives and property the next time one is ready to blow?
We will certainly be looking for these kinds of patterns in more detail at other volcanoes when they become active. And not just volcanoes in Alaska, but for instance volcanoes in the lower 48 states like Mount St. Helens, as well as volcanoes in Iceland and Japan and all throughout the world.
You don't have any there in Boston, do you?
We have no active volcanoes here in Boston,
good.
At least that we know of.
All right, well that's good. Thanks, Dr. John Ebel. Appreciate it.
Nice disclaimer, just in case.
Well, you
never know.
He's there in Boston. He's a volcanologist. One wants to make sure he doesn't have anything nearby in the neighborhood that he's studying.
I trust his expertise.